Hello YouTube and welcome. This is Marek Alexa and thank you for joining me today again. This is vlog number 2 and I'm just sharing and documenting my journey into pentesting from the networking point of view. I'm CCNA and I've got one more certification in cybersecurity. You might be something similar, maybe you are CompTIA or you hold one of those networking certifications from Microsoft, or maybe you are CCNA as well. And I'm just sharing my journey into pentesting. I'm learning and just making videos as I go, basically. Simple as that, really. And I was wondering because I understand computer networks. I've got a solid understanding how they work, etc. But I was thinking okay, but what does it? What actually I need to learn? Because pentesting isn't just about hacking. It's not just about performing certain attacks against remote servers, remote services, etc., etc. Because that's what black hats do. That's what hackers do, right? But pentesters, assessors, or white hats, if you will, they approach things completely differently, especially from legal point of view, right? I was thinking, okay, so what is it? What about those documents? What are those reports or pen testing reports? I never heard of it. I sort of knew about it, but I was thinking okay, so I never actually produced one before, and CCNA didn't prepare me for that. The cybersecurity course or path didn't prepare me for this either. It was out of the scope. And so I was thinking, okay, so how can I actually produce such a report, right? And so I went online and I just searched for it. Just searched for pentesting report, right? And what came up is actually one of the first results I got was pentesting report blueprint from HTB, or Hack the Box. So I looked over it and I was thinking, okay, I can actually use this. I can actually use this to structure my own report. So basically, there were a lot of confidential and sensitive details that I can't even be sharing on YouTube, and I can't be using it because I would have a lawsuit hanging over my head, right? But the purpose why they actually share it publicly on the web is that so students like myself can actually learn how to structure these reports, how they know how to learn, how to figure out actually what such a report actually includes and what it doesn't include, right? So I will share the link, the download link, in the description below, so you can take a look at it. And now we can just we can look at it, all of us, okay? Without further ado, let's look over it. Okay, so now we have both documents opened, the one from Hack the Box and the one I basically just edited for myself for my purposes, right? So I will just take you through it. As I go down, it will give you, the blueprint is very nice because it really gives you like the idea how it should be structured, what it should contain, what it shouldn't contain. I will just scroll down here as well. As you can see, mine is pretty much the certain details I removed, and certain things are just same. I just maybe changed the font a little bit, but what I could use, I have used from the blueprint. Yeah. So let me just that's not what I wanted. Let me just go down. Yeah, like for example, statement of confidentiality. That's something that actually you as a student pentester you can use. Yeah, because it's very, what's the word? It's compatible? No. It's usable. It's simply usable for students as well. Yeah, when you actually read through it. So here we've got engagement contacts, which basically means that all reports they must be, it must so, excuse me, all reports they must include the contacts of engagement contacts. So in this part, the report needs to include all the emails and appointed names, who's actually the decision maker over this engagement in the company, right? It needs to be stated clearly, and it's included in the report as well. And obviously here I'm blurring out those contacts because like it's identifiable information, and yeah, I don't want those people to get spammed or anything, so it's just blurred out. But as you can see, my version isn't that different. Yeah, I just need to basically fill it out because I have it just as a template. Next, executive summary, approach. Yeah, again, in my case, I didn't just plainly copy paste it because it will very much depend on what I will be asked to do, or what you will be as a student asked to do, right? So it's to be determined. And as I scroll down, again, scope, and we've got assessment overview and recommendation. Yeah, that's again, this is not something you can just copy paste, you know, and just run with it, right? This is something that it needs to be tailored, it needs to be customized depending on the client, depending on the situation, and really what actually you will be doing for the client, because everything needs to be specified. Yeah, because if it's not specified and you do something extra, like for example you do a test or assessment that is more in depth than it's supposed to be, you could potentially face a lawsuit, because some of the tasks, some of those activities, they can be damaging. Some scanners or some some escalation privileges and tools, yeah, they can be damaging in some cases, and you don't know if you expose some kind of vulnerability, it will actually negatively impact some of their services, because you don't know at this point. Yeah, so yeah, it needs to be specified, and it's for your own protection as well. And yeah, this is again, yeah, I'm just showing you what actually how I went about it, what I used, what I didn't use. And as you can probably tell, I just used the skeleton. I just stripped down all the confidential and sensitive information, and I just used the skeleton. So I have the structure, I have the idea how I'm supposed to go about it. Yeah, what shouldn't be missing, you know, in a report, and that's pretty much what I needed to start with. Yeah, because the blueprint is supposed to get you started. Yeah, so you have something to work with, but that's about it. And from my point of view, me as a learner of pentesting, that's exactly what I need. So like I said, I will leave the download link in the description below, so you can just download it for yourself and just look over it. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, I don't even need to go down, because this is all depending on the situation, on the case. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to share with you guys. So we went over the pentesting report. We have an idea how it looks, and what I like about the HTTP blueprint they provided, that it looks super professional. Yeah, so it doesn't look like you just throw something together and just calling it report. It actually looks pretty decent, and I'm happy to actually work with it. I'm happy to actually run with it. Yeah, so as a matter of fact, pentesting report falls under a pre-engagement phase of the pentesting engagement or pentesting activity, which is one of the 8 phases that actually pentesters are going through, or they are following through. And I will just briefly describe each phase, so you can actually learn from it, you can actually benefit from it, perhaps you will find some insight in it. So first one is pre-engagement. It's the phase where all required documents are being put together and it's being signed. Yeah, because that's all those contracts, all those documents and authorizations. You know, that's what actually separates you as a pentester from a black hat. Because black hats, they don't ask for permission or authorization. They don't ask for any documents to be signed. They just hack you for money, for ransom or whatnot, and that's it, right? But we are on the legal side of things. You are the assessor, or I'm the assessor. you are the pen tester. So we are actually, the legalities are super important. It's for your own protection, and it's for the protection of client as well. So it works both ways. And now the second phase, which is information gathering, or sometimes called recon or reconnaissance. It's basically the phase where we are getting all the information about client as we can from the online sources, sometimes called OSINT or open source intelligence. Basically, we are searching for social accounts. We are searching for anything that we can find from like online exploits already published. Yeah, and we basically it's the phase where we are getting as much information about the client from online sources, from social accounts, and what could potentially be used against them from security standpoint. And it's also the phase where actually it's the client himself who can provide us with some information to begin with. Maybe you have heard about, I actually just recently learned about the terms like white box, gray box, and black box, which okay, the white box means that you are being given all sorts of information about the client, IP addresses, what kind of software, hardware is on the infrastructure, from which vendor, what IPS or intrusion protection system is being used, all sorts of information. Basically, complete transparency from the client. He will just give you complete disclosure of all devices and software that's being run on it. Gray box is, as you can probably tell by now, that basically means that it's not like all those devices are gray in a gray box. No, what it means that he will give you only partial information. Basically, for example, he will give you the list of all hardware that they use, but they won't tell you what software is being run on it. They won't tell you what services is being run on it. Yeah, it's up to you to determine, to find out. And black box, he will give you very limited information, and by limited I mean super limited. It can be the case when the client just gives you a domain name or just the IP address, and that's it. Yeah, he will give you just 2 pieces of information, maybe 3. Yeah, and it's not very information that you can really get a lot out of. But obviously, as a pen tester, you know your way around, yeah, or you will learn our way around it. So that's the second phase. And now we are in the third phase, which is vulnerability assessment. It's the phase when we are trying to find vulnerability within client systems or client service. For example, the client might be serving a web app, yeah, and he's got a login page there, and we can try if we can check if we can perform JavaScript injection on that form, right? Alternatively, it could be if we are open the page source of the landing page, there could be some confidential or sensitive information just comment out, right? HTML comment tag, and sometimes developers, if they are not careful enough, as they are building the website, if they are building the service, they can leave some confidential information just comment out, yeah, and you can actually find out about it just by reading through the page source, right? Or alternatively, it could be that you are scanning for ports, right, and you find out that their FTP server is open and exposed, yeah. And now we are in the fourth phase, which is exploitation. And as the name suggests, it's the phase where we are actually trying to take advantage of those vulnerabilities. If we can gain a root access, for example, on the server, or if you can actually bring down some service, yeah, that's very much possible, right? And let me just point out that at this stage, it's very important to document. It's very important to start taking screenshots, take notes, because these 2 things, screenshots and taking notes, will be very much needed when you will be actually filling out and producing that pen testing report. And now we have post exploitation, yeah, and that's the phase where we are basically I would say messing around with the system, but that's not a very professional way to put it. It's basically looking around and trying things. What actually we get access to? Did we manage to gain root access? Did we manage to change password to certain services? Have we managed to bring down certain services? Maybe just kill them off, right? And yeah, document. Take notes, screenshots, and it will be super valuable when you are putting together that pen testing report. So basically, you will be having evidence of what we managed to exploit, what we managed to find vulnerable to the client. Next phase is lateral movement. In this phase, for example, the client he wants us to assess or test his infrastructure. Maybe he's got a bunch of routers, bunch of switches and end hosts, and he wants to know if we can possibly find vulnerability in his system, in his infrastructure. So lateral movement basically means that once we manage to get hold of, or I should say, gain access to one of the routers, lateral movement would mean can we manage to get access to switches and end hosts as well, maybe through SSH, or if we can if we can possibly damage or make some damage on the end host, for example, cut them off from internet connectivity at all. Just connect to the switch and shut down the interface. Yeah, that's part of lateral movement. Yeah. Next up is proof of concept, which basically means that you create automated script for the client. When run, it will exploit that vulnerability in his system. So that's proof of concept. And last but not least, post engagement. As you can probably tell, that's the phase when you put together all your findings, all your documentation and recommendations for the client, and you simply present it to the client. You just hand it over. And in post engagement, what typically happens is that the client wants ongoing technical support from the pentester. They want, once the fixes have been done, it can take some time. They will want to just they will ask you to review those changes, to review those updates they have done, right? And it's typically the phase when the pentester is asked for ongoing support. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video number 2. I'm glad that we could actually cover something interesting. Yeah, we covered the pentesting report blueprint from Hack the Box, right? That was super interesting, and I'm super impressed like how professional it actually looked. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, those different phases of the pentesting activity, the pentesting assessment or engagement, they call it engagement, right? So that's that. And yeah, just I just want to share that my two main, I'm at this point I'm not really using anymore. I'm using only 2 learning resources, which is Hack the Box, and I'm using a book called Penetration Testing for Developers. Yeah, you can see it here. Oh, sorry. And yeah, so these are just 2 resources that I'm really using. And one more thing I would like to share just before I wrap this up is that I also started going to IT social events. It's like an IT social club, and I just went last night, and I had an absolutely great time. I met some security professionals, software engineers, even hackers, and from different companies. And what I particularly like about this IT social event was that it was very different from the other networking events I've been to so far. The main difference was it wasn't just about exchanging contacts, exchanging phone numbers and pitches. Yeah, this social event was it was also about having fun. Like we actually had a laugh. We share experiences like outside of work, and there were moments where we were talking about work. We were talking about like from from what part of IT they're coming from, what are the experiences, and obviously pitches as well. And it was such a great event. Yeah, I really like how balanced it was. It wasn't just about showing up, pitch, sales pitch, and exchange contacts or QR codes, etc. It was this event was different, and I really appreciate it. I appreciated how human it felt. Yeah, it was. We had a laugh. We drank some good beer, and yeah, that was it. I really liked it. I liked the difference. Yeah, I definitely will be going again. Yeah, because it was well worth it. Yeah, met some few people, and I really enjoyed myself. Yeah, so I will wrap this up. And listen, just out of curiosity, I know this channel. Black Hearts don't watch this channel, and I'm pretty sure. Um, I'm pretty sure beekeepers don't watch this channel, yeah. So if you could just leave a comment below, just share a little bit of yourself, like what's your background, what's your situation, yeah. It would mean a lot to me just to see like the diversity of people who are watching these videos, yeah. So that is it. Thank you again for joining me on the vlog number 2, and yeah, I will just just keep on learning, keep on sharing, and keep on making videos. So thank you so much, and enjoy the day. Bye bye for now.